Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to When the Shift Hits the Fan. My name's Mark Jeffrey, and I'm here with my gorgeous co-host once again, Linda Lehman. And today, I'm out on the deck for the first time this season. I guess it's finally nice enough to be out here, so I'm enjoying the beautiful sunshine on my face this morning as we bring to you some life hacks that we hope that will help you. We've been talking a little bit about, how to really slay your day. And today we thought we'd give you a couple of hacks here that are going to help you do just that. And it's really about shoring up your will, because we know that this happens to everyone. You start off very enthusiastic about something, and of course, Linda, something always gets in the way that tries to slay you instead of you slaying your day, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's almost like the things are put there just to see how intent you are on the plan you've already made for your day. But I know that I'm giving away a little bit of a secret there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems like there's always something or somebody saying, you can't have a good day because I'm having a rotten day, so I'm going to impress my rotten day on you.
Exactly. So we're here to tell you that, yes, it is true. Where there is a will, there is a way, but sometimes the will just isn't enough to get you there. So we're going to be chatting about that. So where we're at right now is the decision's been made. You put that game plan in place. You are prepared. You're ready. And then, squirrel. Yeah. And we talk about that because I'm the biggest squirrel person in the world. And not that I like squirrels. It's just that I get distracted easily. So I get you on this one. This is one of my biggest things is, especially if I'm writing. Like the one reason I like Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and stuff like that, I can put just short little thoughts together and post them out there. But when I actually have to sit down to write, a big blog post or, a whole like our shows and stuff like that, I really have to get into a zone because I can get distracted so easily, as Linda found out this morning as I was changing the slide.
No, you know what, Mark? I think we need to give ourselves a little bit of a break here because we all fall prey to the squirrel syndrome. Even, I do too. Actually, I had a list of about 3 things that I wanted to get accomplished before we got together, and it's just like I would start one thing and then, I want to do this, squirrel. And so I'd start to do that, and I'd physically have to bring my attention back with my will to refocus on what it is that I wanted to get accomplished.
Yeah, and that's it. You shake it off. Yeah, you're right. We all get distracted with things. And the thing is, it's like everything, right? When you're on, and I don't like using the word diet, but we will use it in this context. When you're on a diet, the ice cream truck always drives by.
It does.
It's like things are put there. You're right, to just say, "Are you really serious about this?"
Yeah.
So
how
yeah.
serious are you?
So yeah, remember that. So the squirrels of the world will make us squirrely, and they will jump up in our path when we least expect it. There are very cute little guys out there, but they're also more dangerous than crocs. I'm sorry, this was kind of a play on a croc shoe. It's just because those are pretty dangerous shoes as far as I'm concerned. And this is the closest to a croc I could find. So this is my thing. Sorry, guys. If you know me, you know that I just can't stand crocs. Especially when
I
it comes
will be sure not to buy you
on anyone over 6 or 7 years old, okay? But this is it. We talk about this a lot. These things will get in your way, and they are designed to come up, and I really do believe that. It's like things come to our lives, and I guess too, if I'm really focused, I don't know, Linda, does this work for you too, or do you feel this way? When I'm really focused on something, I don't feel distractions. Like the world slips away.
Oh, I'm exactly like that. When I'm truly focused, like laser point focused on something, nothing can distract me. As a matter of fact, when I used to actually physically work in an office, I happen to know that sometimes people would think that I was ignoring them or being rude because I almost would not even acknowledge them, and that's because they weren't in my sphere of concentration, so I really didn't see them. I didn't know that they were there because I was so focused on what I was doing.
And I think that what happens is when we're unsure of ourselves, when we're not, we really don't see the path, I think that's when distractions are there, because you're right, you're not laser focused on something. It's like walking down a path. If it's a straight path, you kind of get bored with that path, right? You kind of lose yourself in the path. Whereas, and that's where you notice this over there and notice that over there. But if the path is very treacherous or winding and you really have to watch your steps, you don't notice, that there was a bird sitting on that tree or a deer over there because you're so focused on where your feet are going. So I think that that's a good cue to people is when you are losing your concentration on your goal and not achieving what you want to do is you're going to have to refocus. You're going to have to put on different lenses on that one for sure.
And not Crocs.
Yeah, and not Crocs. Please, no Crocs. So we're ready because we're going to give you some squirrel repellent today and give you some hacks that you can use in order to get that squirrel jumping right out of your life. So let's talk about hack number 1. And Linda, how often do we say this about the journal? And again, it's back on as hack number 1. Get your journals, start writing.
I don't know how many times my journal has saved me and helped me refocus because I wrote out my plan. I wrote out my goals. I wrote out steps that I could think of in my journal. And so when I do get distracted, when I do realize that I've started to let all of this external outside stuff distract me from doing the things that I wanted to do today to get closer to my goals, I pull out my journal and I open the pages and I take 5 minutes just to reread and refocus, and then I'm recharged and ready to roll.
Yeah, and again, this is your offensive place, you guys, because remember, when you start a journal, when you start a journal or a journey, okay, and we talk about this on our past shows of the roadmap to where you're going. You don't just get in your car and drive somewhere you've never been before, but you map it out, and you may even put it into your smartphone or into your GPS, the route that you want to take, and you follow it, right? So when things are the most critical, your life, why would you not create the same type of thing? That's what your journal is. And it can be an online journal on your phone. I mean, we have so many tools now. I like you, Linda, I like physically writing because the physically writing part of it, couple of things. It allows me to take the time in my thought process because it takes me longer to write. And as we found out in doing a lot of things I do, I have a really seriously weird autocorrect on my word.
Okay, you have to share. When we were preparing this show for you guys, every time she typed squirrel, her computer would autocorrect to serial killer.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I have no idea. Like that's my thought. Like I scare myself sometimes. But beyond that, yeah, that's why I write, because I write and it doesn't come up serial killers. So number 1, get that journal, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. A notebook from the dollar store, just something. Start getting in the habit of putting down your thoughts, because and again, look at it in sports. They have a playbook.
Yep.
It's all of this. Like, why would you not do that in your life? I don't know. The most critical thing, it just astounds me. But let's jump over here. Let's jump into hack number 2, because this is sometimes, I think, Linda, where people really go off the rails. They try to accomplish things when they haven't had a good sleep, when they're feeling irritable, they maybe haven't eaten, they're in a bad space totally, and that's when they try to do something and fail miserably and then totally give up on their dreams.
Yeah, we have to be in tune with our thoughts and our bodies and our moods. And if we're not there, we're going to be causing ourselves more harm than we are good in pursuing our goals. It's just like me yesterday. I had plans that I was going to, write some articles, write a chapter in my book, and do all of these things. But I was not feeling it yesterday at all. And instead of forcing, because force is a negative vibration, and so nothing in force can ever come out as the way I wanted it to be. So recognizing where I was, I put everything aside and gave myself permission to just have a thinking day. And that's what it was, and it was marvelous. But I certainly was not in the mood to write anything.
Yeah, and that's it. It's like pick your peak performance frame. And, but don't let yourself off the hook.
Right.
I mean, just don't sit there and use that as a procrastination tool. Oh, well, I'm not in my peak performance frame, so I'm not going to do anything today. Utilize it in a different way, like Linda did, as a thinking day rather than a writing day, not just totally blowing the day. Okay,
right.
So remember that. But this is the thing. When we try to do things, it's like when people go on, and I'm just, because I got involved in a different business group of people, and it was really interesting to me, because it's a lot about this diet they're doing and stuff like that. Some people are seeing results, some others not, and different things. It's really interesting as scope of people doing one thing, right? And it was interesting to me how, they would, some go on this diet, but it was too restrictive to jump into right away because they were used to very poor eating habits, okay? So making that transition from this to this in a day's fell swoop, you're not going to see, like, you got to be careful here, people. That's going to make you irritable. That's going to make you say, hey, this doesn't work for me, and you're right. The way you tackled that, it wasn't working for you. So remember the baby steps we always talk about. Do things in baby steps, but just keep walking forward. You don't have to jump off the cliff.
Exactly. And, when you're first getting started with this, you're going to have some enthusiasm. When you start setting your goals and you start working toward them, you're going to have a lot of enthusiasm. But then there are going to be these days that we're talking about. As you journal along your journey, I think it's also important to start documenting and making note of when you feel, the times you feel most enthusiastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can actually begin to see a pattern. When you're more likely to be able to focus on some of the tough things that you want to get accomplished, you can start scheduling those during those times that you've mapped out that show you where your daily peak performance is, and those are the periods of time you block off for yourself to do some of this real focused, important work that will help you take those quantum leaps toward where you want to go.
That's a great hack, Linda. Great hack for sure. Add that in there. 2.5 hack.
There you go.
There you go.
You always want to give that little extra mark.
You betcha. Okay, so let's jump into hack number 3. Let your passion pull you through. And this is really true. We kind of like summed that up as we were going along this, is that enthusiasm, the passion, and your why. Why did you start doing what you were doing? Because if anything will shore up your will, it's your why.
Exactly, Mark. When you're passionate about something, nothing's going to stop you. And the day's going to go by in the blink of an eye, and you're going to go, wow, I can't believe the day is done. But look at everything I accomplished. So hang on to that. Grab that passion and dive into it.
Yeah, do that. And conversely, if you're not passionate about something, you're going to find that the journey is going to be a little bit tougher. And not to say you can't succeed, but you need to find your passion about it, what sparks you. And sometimes the task isn't it. Like I find the task of writing difficult. Especially when I have to write, speeches that I'm doing in front of physicians for the Cancer Institute. and my journey, I find that difficult because I kind of get a little bit intimidated from my audience, right? And then I stopped doing that one day. I was trying to articulate myself in their terms, and I'm going, well, how dumb are you, Mark? Like, how can you even come up with that? You're squashing your passion. So then when I started talking about how I feel in my terms, then it became better received by them because it was authentic. So keep that in mind too.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping into hack number 4. We talked about this. You need to keep up your health. And you have to be able to eat and sleep and rest properly. And that's scheduling. Too many people I know, and Linda, gosh, how many people we know? Oh, I'm too busy to have a proper breakfast. I'm too busy to have, I'm too busy to take time for myself. And especially like moms and that, like you got to put yourself first on this game. Again, the airlines tell us this, put your mask on first before you can help anybody else. But in life, we don't do that. We put everybody first. We're unhappy, so guess what? Conversely, they're unhappy.
Exactly. Making time for yourself, scheduling the time, and yes, you're right, Mark. I hear it all the time. I don't have time to exercise. When am I going to stick that in? I don't have time to sleep. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. If it's important to you, if it's something that you're truly passionate about, you will make the time. You'll find it. It'll open up in your schedule. And I have found as the most busy people in the world, you may be top executives, top entrepreneurs, they schedule time to go work out. They schedule family time. They schedule play time and rest time. And it all blends together, and you make those times as important as an important business meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise and rest and proper nutrition is just as important as a business meeting on your calendar. Slap it on there and do it. When the little dinger dings, oh, look, it's time for me to do yoga. Go do your yoga. And then come back, and you're going to actually be much more productive than if you had pushed it aside, because then you'd be playing the guilt game with yourself. Oh, man, I didn't go do yoga. I wish I'd done yoga. Oh, man, another day, and I didn't exercise. Here, let me just grab this candy bar, and it'll make me feel better.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. I've been watching just off and on, and we talked about this previously, my 600-pound life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because, yes, although they are, almost 600 pounds and stuff like that, it's interesting how I do see myself many times in them, and I'm sure most of you will. It's worth just watching one episode, not for the journey really that they're on, but for what they do that you can probably see yourself doing. It's making those excuses. Well, I didn't have time. I had to drive from here to here, so of course I didn't have time to stop at the grocery store. It was much faster to go to the drive-thru. Well, you kind of think to yourself, where's the logic in that? But I know there's been many times where, I've done the same thing. I mean, I'm not 600 pounds, but it sure wasn't nutritionally healthy for me. But I've made the same decisions. Same thing, I've got a deadline. Why do I wait until 5 minutes before the deadline and stress myself to the max when I had taxes are a good one, right? How many people wait to like the midnight of I get that you mail them then because, of course, you hit the deadline, your money's in your bank, blah, 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 blah. But some people just wait until the night before. We are crazy at layering stress onto our own lives. So, hack number 4, that was a 4 3/4. Okay, so we're going to jump right into 5 here. And it's what we do. Linda and I talked about this, what we do at the end of our day, and we called it our bedtime rituals. And it's normally about me for an hour or 2 sometimes, depending on my day, before I go to bed, the different things that I do. But it's my journal. And for Linda, it's her journal. For you, it better be your journal. is celebrating all the amazing things that happened to me in the day. And I do that first. Like there are some things that I have to plan out for the next day and things that maybe I didn't get done, but I do that too. The very first thing I do is, what are all the amazing things that happened to me today? Unexpected things that on my journey, that popped up that gave me joy and happiness. I write all those things first because number one, that will internally buoy you up and brings forth the will, so that when you're analyzing the things that maybe didn't go so well, maybe you procrastinated on, but they don't make them so harsh. They don't just delve in, oh, well, my day was useless. Linda, I got nothing done.
Sure you did, Mark. What went well? Where are those little successes, those little accomplishments that you had? It's very important to set the stage to plan out your tomorrow. And even if some things didn't go well, let's reframe that. Look at it from a different perspective. Okay, this didn't go as I planned. Where's the lesson in this? What can I do better next time?
Yep. Yeah, we're not only that, but how much of it did do right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it fell off the rails here, but you know what? I was halfway there, so I've just got to make a little adjustments and tackle that tomorrow, because I have all faith in myself that then I will succeed. We have to start talking to ourselves differently. It's interesting how I started posting on my fan page just a little bit differently in how I sent messages out to my fans and the different kinds of different reception I got from it. And it's just talking with more joy and passion to yourself. You are amazing, and we're all human, and we all make mistakes, but just something like, and what we did the other day, Linda, I said, when we say something, when things go bad, and we say things like, well, at least it wasn't worse, that's still ordering up more of that bad. We have to, and everybody, bounce back, well, how am I supposed to say it? At least it wasn't. And I said, well, say, hey, I'm not taking any more of that crap in my life. I don't want any more. And tomorrow this is going to be a different story, done and done. And they're going, oh, my gosh, I've been doing that all my life. And, yeah, we do.
Yes, we do. So after we've bolstered ourselves up and we're very happy and we're feeling incredibly successful because we've celebrated all these wins, Mark, the next thing is then we can pre-plan our tomorrow.
Yep.
And when we're doing that so that we can set ourselves up for even more success is to prioritize the things that are most important to us, most beneficial to us, that will move us closer toward living our dreams, living the life that we're intending ourselves to live. And by doing that, we give it the energy that it deserves, so we're less likely to go chasing after those squirrels and finding those nuts.
Yep. Yeah, and once you do all of that, that's the textbook part of it. For me, what I do is, and here's my thing, and this can be, it's my thing. I'm not saying it's right for everybody, but it's my thing. Is I might read a little bit. After I do this, I might just, because I read in bed, I like it. It's the way that I wind down. But about 15 minutes before, my eyes are kind of drooping a little bit, and I know I'm getting sleepy, and I know that within the next 15 minutes I'll probably be asleep. That's when I put everything down, and I think I put in my mind what tomorrow will be for me. Tomorrow will be my most perfect day. Tomorrow I will succeed at whatever it is that I'm trying to achieve. Tomorrow is going to be so amazing. I'm going to have the most restful sleep. I'm going to be ready for it. And this is how I sleep deeper, I sleep better, and in the morning I come up with some amazing ideas. So that's why for me, Linda, it's so important to have my journal right there. because when I wake up, I'm energized and I'm going, oh, man, because while I was sleeping, yes, my subconscious mind figured stuff out for me and sent me on my journey in a more positive and propelled way.
Absolutely, Mark. That is so important, and it's a clue into how we all tick. If you didn't know that your subconscious mind is operating 24/7, you do now. And the cool thing is, you can give it things to work on while you're getting this marvelous, restful sleep. Your subconscious mind is out there bringing things together for you and aligning those things with the messages, the feeling that you put into what you told it that you wanted. So, Mark, if you're going to bed and you're fuming about everything that you didn't get accomplished today and you're worrying about what tomorrow is going to bring, then unfortunately that's what you're giving to your subconscious mind. And so when you wake up in the morning, it's going to be that gloom and doom dread because you asked for it, you got it. So why not prepave and make it a marvelous day? Why not say, as you said, tomorrow is my best day ever. Everything is going to go smoothly. I'm going to get so much done. I'm going to get this wonderful, restful night's sleep and wake up energized and ready to see what amazing opportunities are presented to me tomorrow.
Yeah. And just try it. Take it on faith. One time from us. Just take it on faith. Try. What's the worst thing that can happen to you if you do this for 7 days? Right? And I'm putting it in your terms because I know you're sitting there, yeah, that works for you. Doesn't ever work for me. What's the worst thing that can happen to you? You're going to have an amazing life. Aha, there you go.
Yep.
Flip that script. So that's what we have, 5 hacks for you today that you can utilize to make your tomorrow the much better. So if you want any more information, like maybe you're facing some fear and you don't know how to get it, or you're stuck and you don't know how to get past that, please remember that we have tons of videos and information on whentheshifthitsthefan.com, and you can reach out to us on our Facebook, our fan pages, or on our sites. Email us. Our email information's there. Connect with us. If you're really struggling, we're here to help you. And there's no charge, my friends. We are absolutely just out to try to make the world a better place to live in for you and I and everyone. So Linda, for me, I have this, is today is going to be the best day ever because today you decided this was your day and your time.
I love it, Mark, and I'm going to bounce right on top of that and agree with you. You are magnificent. You truly have a power to succeed, and all you have to do is make the decision, yes, today is the best day ever.
Perfect. So go out and enjoy your perfect day. From Mark here in Canada, I'm just going to hang out here on the deck for a little while longer and enjoy the sunshine on my face. So from Mark here in Canada, good day, everyone.
And from Linda down here in Florida, have an awesome day.